Oh, okay.
Okay. Hey, everybody. As you know, it's October, and so this is our sex drive month, and I promised some interviews, and so this is my great friend. Her name is Theresa, and we're just going to do this. I'm going to ask her some questions and get some answers, and then we're going to help you guys feel like you're not alone, because as women, we all feel like we are the only one who deals with the feelings that we have, and that is not true. So, Theresa, you want to just tell us, like, kind of about you, how long you've been married, and that kind of stuff?
Okay. So about me, let's see. I've been married to my husband, Kris, for, oh my gosh, like 2007. So we're going on what, 13 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
13. Okay. So yeah, we've been married for 13 years. We've been together for 17 years. And let's just say he is the pursuer in our relationship. I am not. I am the one that's like, hey, okay, now's a good time. Sure. Okay. He has to like initiate it all the time. And it's frustrating because he wants me to initiate it. And I'm like, no, I feel stupid. Like, I don't want to initiate it. And he's like, trust me, I would never say no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you answered my first question. I didn't even get to ask you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Which drive spouse are you? So we now know you're the lower drive spouse.
Yes,
Out
definitely.
of you and Kris.
Way lower.
He would never say no, so we got that established. Okay, so being the lower drive spouse, how would you say that affects your marriage as a whole, but then also just your like sexual intimacy part of your marriage for you? Like how does it affect you?
Okay, so that's a huge question. Okay, so in our beginning of our marriage, when things are all like hot and heavy and you're new, there wasn't really a low sex drive, high sex drive. But once you start adding like real life and kids in the situation and your day-to-day, like homeschooling or your side jobs or keeping the house clean, whatever it is that you do, it takes a toll. Like it takes a toll on me. Like at the end of the day, that's like the last thing I want to do. Meanwhile, during the day, he's already thought about that like probably 100 times. So it used to be like a really big challenge in our marriage. We used to argue about it. We used to fight about it because I'm like, okay, we had sex twice this week. Like, that's good. Like, high five. And he's like, we've only had sex twice this week. What are you talking about? Like, you know, like his mouth is going to fall off or something. I don't know. But so meanwhile, I think I'm doing a good job by throwing it down twice a week. And he's frustrated because it's only been twice a week. So in our marriage, it was a struggle. And some days it still is, not so much now because just like with life, you learn as you stay married and you're with your partner longer, like what he needs, like really needs. So I think it's getting easier during our marriage. Like I'm still not like an everyday girl. I'm like 3 times a week now. Thank you. Maybe 4 if it's a good week. It's hard to pull on it.
Okay, so you just hit on one of my major things that I love to talk about, and that is you just specifically talked about his needs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll find in the group, we're gonna get to that a lot. But what about your needs? So you can feel tired and all these things. That doesn't mean that your needs disappear. And so how do you address his needs, and how do you still take care of yourself and make sure that your needs are being met and that he knows what they are outside of his wants?
I should have prepped for these questions, Tina. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, for intimacy needs, like he doesn't like have any. Like I can be walking down naked and he's like, okay, like it's not, I have to prep him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he can go from like 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. Like, so there's that. And the sad thing is, like, I'm okay if we don't have sex, and sex is a huge part of marriage. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me because I don't want to have sex every single day, 24/7. And, but I guess that's normal. I don't know. I don't know. I just know, like, once we start, I'm trying not to get too graphic. Like I'm like, okay, I know we're going to do this now. Okay. Like, it's going down. So he knows all my needs. I don't really have like requirements or like, you have to do this in order to get there. Like he just knows me so well. He just does it. He knows me better than I know myself.
Okay.
So he can tell by my mood, like, okay, let's go this route instead of this route. You know what I mean? If that makes sense without getting into too much detail.
So you are lucky because he understands already how you work, how your mind works, how your sex drive works, and he's able to kind of navigate to make sure you're, I don't want to say paid attention to, but really paid attention to. And that it's not just all about, all about him and what he wants or, how that goes. So, okay, this is a fun one then, because you've kind of explained a little bit already. If you could change your mindset towards sex, sorry, I gotta fly, in one way, what would you want to change about your own mindset regarding this area?
Okay. I don't think it's more mindset for me. I think it's more confidence. Like if I was more confident in the way that I look, in the way that I feel, and it has nothing to do with the actions that are being made during that intimate time, because that's always fine. Like I wouldn't change anything about our intimacy part. It's more of me. Like I don't want the lights on, where I know he loves the lights on. So I always have lights off. I don't want candles lit. I don't want the music. Like, but if I have more confidence in myself, our sex life could be like to a whole new level, because I know then like his needs are already met, but they would be going above and beyond if I was in my own head and just be normal.
Normal doesn't exist, and everyone's normal is different. We should just throw that out there right now. You are not abnormal. You're normal. And that's a lot about when we talk about this kind of stuff. Everybody's going to have their own normal.
Mm-hmm. There's no black
one normal that everyone needs to fit into is not going to happen, because I promise I'm not normal either then.
Well.
And okay, so you talked about yourself, and that's just more of confidence, right? Not really a mindset shift. So what about Kris? If you could change something about the way that he thought about your intimate moments together, your intimate time together, is there something that you would change about the way he thinks about it, or not?
Well, I mean, the end result is always amazing, but like, not really. I don't think I would change anything that he does or expects, because if I change him or his outlook on it or anything that he does to get us to that point, we would have no sex. Like there wouldn't be an intimacy, because he's always pursuing me. He's always initiating it. He's always, he's the go-getter.
Go-getter. Okay, but does that cause problems as the low drive? Do you, he gets frustrated obviously if you're like, no. But do you get frustrated? Do you feel like he's just there, like
just wait to
yeah.
Sometimes I tell him, like, you're like a dog in heat. Like, it's just never enough, because yes, I do feel like that sometimes. And it did take a toll on our marriage. So we've learned to compromise. And I know this might be a little graphic. I'm sorry, but but like, because he does want like all the time. So if he knows like I'm not really in the mood, but it's like, I can do it, but I really don't want to do it, let's just have a quickie. Like, we don't have to get into like full disclosure, full like on full play. Let's just get you satisfied. And we're okay. I'm okay with that because he's not a selfish person. He's always like, no, I want you to be able to enjoy it and finish and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm like, no, that's okay. Really, I promise. I will sacrifice. Like, you can just enjoy this moment.
Oh my gosh.
Just so I know his needs are met, and I'm okay with that. But I have to be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And it took a while, right? I mean, it took a while to get to that place.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for you, but also for him to be accepting of that.
Yes.
Accepting of, okay, this is a gift, basically, that she's giving me, not because you feel obligated.
No, not at all.
But just because you want to, right?
Yeah.
Even when you don't want to. Like, we want to give our husband these gifts, even when we don't necessarily want to, you know, be all involved.
Exactly. Like, I want to, it's like putting your toe in the pool. Like, you want to do it, but you're just like, so I'm just a little bit.
I hear you. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you were willing to meet with me and talk with me. Ladies, it's going to be so fun. Okay, gentlemen too, for the Facebook page. I'm sorry, don't mean to leave you out. Theresa's husband, Kris, is also going to meet with us, not today. Another day, another video. I really wanted to do them separate so they could, you know, talk on their own without the other one being in their ear. But yeah, so he's excited to come, I think.
Or comical if we did both, because then you could have had like the true reaction, you know what I mean?
So maybe we'll take a vote after both individual videos are done and find out if all of our ladies and gentlemen would like to see you both together.
That's a good idea. I love that.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I'm going to get ready to close out here, but I did want to let you all know this is only number 1 of 4 videos. So we will have the low drive spouse of each gender and a high drive of each gender. So come back, watch our videos, and I hope that you have fun with Theresa and I, and that you, some of you, hopefully realize you're not alone, and the things that you're going through are normal, and we're excited to work through them. So, all right, Theresa, I will talk to you probably in a few.
And thanks for having me.
Of course.